Good morning, my renegades. Welcome back to Rogue Radio. My name is Sarah Jane, and today is Renegade Times episode again. Because the world as we know it is burning, and here I am still putting out content because I feel like y'all deserve it. Anyway, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, feel free to contact me, and the link's down in the description. Leave a hate comment, leave a love comment, talk to me, message me. If you have any information on anything that I talk about, or even things that you think that I might find interesting, cool, tag me in it. Do what you gotta do. And, yeah, and I always give credit to anybody who gives me anything. So let's go ahead and do this. I'll link my merch shop again, just in case y'all want Rogue Radio merch. It's cool if you don't. Anyway, first up is politics. You know this. You already know this. Let's go. Anyway, first off is, of course, Hillary Clinton and the Evergreen storage containers. Apparently, this is hearsay. But you know me, as a conspiracy theorist, I always consider the possibility to be true, especially since the whole frazzle drip thing happened. If you don't know what that is, go ahead and look it up. Please look it up. I'm sorry, that's terrible. Anybody who's squeamish, don't look up frazzle drip. I'm just saying, this stuff happens. And I can't necessarily talk about what they did in this video. It doesn't really show much either, but still, somebody recorded it, and you can hear Hillary Clinton's voice. Are we having the for dessert? Can you can't tell me that this can't be true? What I'm about to talk about. So let's just go. I don't know. Usually I go ahead and read an article and I go ahead and dissect it. Doesn't matter if it's true or not. I figure out what's true or not to me and my, listeners, and then they choose whether to believe me or not. So let's just go ahead. Where is it? Please don't. Okay, good. The Suez ship, I don't even know if I'm saying that right, so excuse me if I mispronounced. The Suez ship baselessly linked to QAnon conspiracy theory about Clintons. So, QAnon linked social media posts seeking to tie the Clintons to a ship that blocked the Suez Canal, saying the vessel has been used for human trafficking. We know that this is true in general. Shipping containers can contain people. If you have not watched The Sound of Freedom, that is a whole story, and it talks about how some children are trafficked in shipping containers, whether or not the shipping company knows it or not. It still happens. It's a terrible truth, but that is true. So I can understand why QAnon would, link that together. But anyway, the Clinton Foundation, however, they say it has no ships. Well, I mean, don't believe anything Clinton say. While an international maritime safety agency and an anti-trafficking group told AFP there is no information to support the claims, which the shipping line dismissed baseless. Many children were shipped via Clinton Foundation's Evergreen. Says March 28th, 2021 Instagram video post viewed for more than 10,000 times, which inaccurately refers to Evergreen by the name of its operator, Taiwan-based Evergreen line. Many were drugged and initially taped up, alleges the video, which includes picture of former Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton and a photo of an Evergreen container ship. Well, you can't tell me that she doesn't traffic people. I mean, that's just my belief. You guys, like I say, you guys can believe in anything you want. Anything you want. I am just here to talk about issues, talk about topics. So, yeah, no, I believe this. I definitely believe this. Hillary Clinton previously served on the board of directors of Clinton Foundation, which was founded by her husband, former President Bill Clinton, but does not currently list as holding a position. One of the posts says, many children were shipped via Clinton Foundation's Evergreen, a ship named after Hillary, her code name. Interesting. I don't know how that kind of ties into that. How did she get that name? Many were drugged and taped up, delivered as live art. They avoided customs inspections, delivered directly to museums. Guess what's near the Clinton Foundation? Interesting. Numerous similar posts circulated that the Rotterdam-bound vessel ran aground on the 23rd of March in the Suez Canal, which is vital to world trade. The ship was relocated on March 29th, and the canal reopened. Many claims about the Evergreen contained references to Hillary Clinton and the QAnon conspiracy theory, whose adherents believe that the U.S. Democrats are part of a cabal of Satan-worshipping pedophiles. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like I said, I mean, go ahead and believe what you want to. I personally believe this. Followers of the theory, which has gained increasingly broad support through social media, have driven a surge of inaccurate information about child trafficking. False claims, and the Clinton Foundation operates cargo ships date back to at least 2017. But Brian Cookstra, the foundation's director of communications, told AFP by email, "We don't own or operate any ships." The owner of Evergreen is a Japanese company, Shoei Kisen. Evergreen of Taiwan is the ship's commercial operator responsible for cargo and its scheduling, while Bernard Schlute, Ship Management BSM, are its technical managers, handling day-to-day operation and management of the vessel and its crew. Evergreen categorically denies being engaged in illegal activity of any sort. Michael Voss of Voss Heinemann Associates Incorporated, New York, said in an email statement on behalf of Evergreen Line, whatever. Social media posts alleging such activity are noting more than wholly unfounded conspiracy theories. A BSM spokesperson separately said by email that the cargo has an emphasis on manufactured consumer products and is subject to inspection. I mean, adrenochrome is a manufactured consumer product. But you need children to be alive in order to get that, so make it make sense, dude. Evergreen makes frequent port calls in each port. Large number of stevedores, I've never heard of that, came abroad and moved freely about the vessel to help remove and stow cargo. A commercially trading vessel routinely receives unannounced port state control implications by inspectors who have access to all areas of the vessel, the spokesperson said. Evergreen Marine Corps supplier code of conduct says there is to be no use of coercion and involuntary prison labor and trafficked persons. The thing is that if they pay you enough to traffic children or traffic people, you can make anyone do anything. So I don't believe word of mouth at all. I just don't. 'Cause the most truthful person that you trust can even lie. So I mean, I don't believe what people say. Anyway, AFP asked Polaris, a US-based anti-trafficking organization that collaborates with the United Nations International Organization for Migration and other partners, whether it had come across information linking the Evergiven to human trafficking. We have not received any credible reports involving this boat, the group's chief communications officer, Karen Benjamin, said by email. The International Maritime Organization, or the IMO, the United Nations Agency. See, I don't believe anything from the UN, the World Economic Forum, or anything, what was the other one? Or the FDA. I don't believe, or Big Pharma. All of those big names that they mention in this thing, just tell me that this whole thing is just a PR ploy to just be like, it's just a conspiracy. They're just crazy people that are bored. And to be honest, no, I don't believe so. I really don't think so. But we have no knowledge of information that would support their claims about trafficking. The Immigration of Customs Enforcement, whose Homeland Security Investigations branch probes transitional crimes, including human smuggling, has agents based around the world, and by email said no information about claims linking to the vessel human trafficking. AFP has previously debunked an online conspiracy that the furniture retailer Wayfair was trafficking children, as well as other false claims linked to QAnon. Okay, yeah, that's another one, because me and my husband, we started watching The Chosen on Peacock, and Kelly Clarkson kept on, advertising Wayfair, and I told my husband about this, they name their cabinets off of, after children that were abducted and trafficked, and he looked at me with big eyes you gotta be kidding me. I was like, yeah, you don't know this? This is why you have me, babe. So I just did some of my research, because this is usually how Rogue Radio goes. This is how the whole podcast kind of operates, is that I do my research while, or before, or during me, recording. And I found out that Article 2.13 from New York is, it started in 2021. I don't know if I want to read it, because that was in the, the height of COVID and stuff like that. So I don't know if I want to read it, just because of how dated it is. But let's go ahead and talk about something else. Okay, so this is all about the Texas border. We're gonna go right into that. I forgot to say jump in the trenches with me today. Jump in the trenches with me in this Texas Tribune article. So, alright. A group of migrants wades through the Rio Grande under the watch of Texas National Guard members near the riverbank at Shelby Park in Eagle Pass on January 19th, 2024. Texas has closed off Shelby Park, cutting access to federal agents to part of the Texas-Mexico border. According to the federal legal filing, the situation is escalating tensions between the Biden administration and government. Greg Abbott, Eddie. Okay. Anyway, in Eagle Pass, a tense border standoff has been, or between Texans and the federal government is reaching a crescendo. So, on a chilly January afternoon, a military drone hovers over Shelby Park, and as Texas National Guards members pull boats from the Rio Grande and slide them onto trailers, shipping containers topped with concertina wire line. I mean, I saw it. I guess it kind of looks like razor wire, so I'll just say that. Line the riverbank where men in fatigues erect a bilingual sign. Give me a minute. Near the boat ramp that reads, "No migrant processing at this location. Please proceed nearest port of entry for processing with U.S. Border Patrol." I love that. So technically they're not stopping migration, they're just trying to direct them to the right area. Yes. I love you, Texas. I really do. You guys do everything right. It's just great. I did see a video of them taking bulldozers and lining the whole border with shipping containers and then razor wire or whatever they're called. That kind of wire. And I was like, yes. So the people are starting to take over the authority over the border because, for one, Kamala Harris was deemed the border czar, and she ain't doing much. But anyway, the entire 47-acre park, including the golf course, is enclosed with concertina wire, I don't know how you say that, and patrolled by state troopers from Texas. Hang on. And Florida, yeah. At the entrance behind a chain link fence, 3 National Guard members lean against the green Humvee strapped with rifles. It looks like a war zone in a third world country, said real estate agent and Eagle Pass resident Carlos Herrera, who lives nearby, and his wife and baby daughter. No one can enter the city park without asking permission. Soldiers let 2 journalists pass and wander around the park last week, but U.S. Border Patrol agents are strictly prohibited from the park grounds, according to the U.S. Department of Justice. Oh my god. The park has turned into a battleground and an escalating legal fight between Biden administration and Governor Greg Abbott. Okay. Did I say government when I first said that? I'm so sorry. I'm still waking up. But who for the past 3 years has convinced state lawmakers to spend more than $10 billion in an attempt to deter hundreds of thousands of migrants who have crossed the Rio Grande to Texas many of them who are seeking asylum. Caught in the middle of our residents of this mostly Mexican-American town of 28,000 residents who came to say they feel helpless after the state seized their park, revenue-generating events like Noches Mexicanas, an annual family event with live music and vendors that are scheduled for the spring in Shelby Park, may be canceled. If you ask every citizen here in Eagle Pass, if you talk to them, they're going to tell you they wish everything would go back to normal. They wish that they can have, they wish we can have our event at Shelby Park like we do every year for the past 20 years, but can we do anything about it at this point? I don't think so, says Herrera. During the Trump administration, there were also increases in migrant apprehensions at the U.S.-Mexico border, but when President Biden took office in 2021 and began canceling some Trump policies, Abbott launched an effort that put the states on a collision course with the federal government over immigration enforcement. Under federal law, the federal government has sole authority to enforce immigration laws, a power that has been affirmed by the Supreme Court decisions. It does say in the Constitution, it does say, like, listen, if the government starts acting treasonous, like a little treasony, the people are allowed to take back the authority. Okay? And that's exactly what the people in Texas are doing by protecting the border. And I have no problem with it. I really don't. Because we are letting terrorists come in. We're letting human traffickers come in. You don't really know. I don't want to sound prejudiced in any way, but just like any other country, alright, there are terrorists. There are terrorists in Mexico. There's terrorists that actually migrate to Mexico in order to get past the border to start chaos. There is big human trafficking rings along with big drug rings that are in Mexico. Alright? That's it. But since March 2021, Abbott, under the banner is an effort to dub Operation Lone Star, has sent state troopers and National Guard members to different parts of the 1,200-mile Texas-Mexico border, ordered state police to arrest migrants in suspicion of trespassing, lined a river at Shelby Park with shipping containers, ordered 70,000 rolls of concertina wire to be deployed along 29 miles of the river in Maverick County, which includes Eagle Pass, and erected about a dozen miles of border walls in different parts of the border at a price of $1.5 billion. And late last year, the state legislature passed a bill which Abbott signed and is scheduled to take effect in March that allows police to arrest people they suspect of legally crossing the Texas-Mexico border on state charges. The American Civil Liberties Union and other groups have filed lawsuits aimed at overturning the new law. Hang on. Texas has also filed various lawsuits attacking the Biden administration's immigration policies. The Texas lawsuit filed against the federal government after Border Patrol agents began cutting through the state's concertina wire to apprehend or give medical aid to migrants is now before the U.S. Supreme Court, which must decide whether Texas is illegally preventing Border Patrol agents from apprehending migrants who have crossed the border illegally. Oh my goodness. Let's see. The current standoff at the border is unique in American history, according to the academics who study in the U.S.-Mexico border and immigration. Hang on. I'm out of breath. I worked out last night. Jamie Aguila, I don't know how. Her name's Jamie. Their name's Jamie. I don't know. A history immigration professor at Midland College in Texas said a similar state versus federal legal confrontation happened after Arizona passed a state immigration law in 2010 and required immigrants to carry their immigration papers at all times and allowed local police to arrest suspected undocumented immigrants. But Aguila, anyway, said that the battle played out in court and not on the ground. It's become common for the federal government to have a political standoff with states over immigration policy, but that we're seeing an equal pass is not of the ordinary. Okay, said Caesar Caesar somebody, and Garcia Hernandez, an immigration attorney and law professor at Ohio State University. I don't know of any instances in which federal law enforcement officers have faced off against state police troops because of disagreement over immigration policy. Wow. The tension between the Border Patrol agents who have guarded the border alone for generations, they recently arrived. State forces has ramped up. On January 12th, National Guard members at the park blocked Border Patrol agents from accessing the river after 3 migrants drowned while crossing the Rio Grande, and 2 other migrants were still struggling in the water, according to court filing by the U.S. Department of Justice. According to the filing, Mexican immigration officials alerted Border Patrol agents at 9 p.m. that night that 2 migrants were in distress on the American side near the boat ramp at Shelby Park. An hour later, a mother with 2 children drowned in the same area, according to the DOJ. Then, when a supervising Border Patrol agent told National Guard troops at the park gate about the migrants in distress, one of them responded that they had orders to deny Border Patrol entry. The Border Patrol agent asked to speak with a National Guard supervisor who told agent Border Patrol was not permitted to enter the area in emergency situations, according to the court filing. This goes on forever. Since then, National Guard has given Border Patrol access to the boat ramp at the park, but they have to give their names, and the time that they enter the park is recorded. According to the statement by Robert Danley, lead field coordinator for U.S. Customs and Border Protection for the Del Rio area. That was filed with the Supreme Court. The state has denied the Justice Department's version of events, saying that the supervising agent who alerted National Guard's members at the gate about the drowning, didn't indicate it was an emergency, and said that Mexican officials had the situation under control. According to court filing by Attorney General Ken Paxton's office with the Supreme Court, Texas has conducted a diligent investigation into these allegations and refutes defendants' direct accusation. The court filing says, based on the investigation, that the two Border Patrol agents who approached the gate on January 12th did not ask for admission. Did not ask for admission to Shelby Park to respond to an emergency, nor did they advise other guardsmen for the staff's sergeant that any emergency situation existed. The DOJ said a Mexican search and rescue team recovered the bodies of the three victims, Victorma de la Sancha Cerros, 33, Yorley Ruby, 10, and Jonathan Agustin Briones del Sancha, 8. The mother and children were from the state of Mexico and were trying to cross the border to escape drug cartel-related violence, National Public Radio reported. The two other migrants were rescued by Mexican authorities, and the DOJ said residents torn about the state presence. Eagle Pass residents are torn about the large state presence in their town. Lots of locals work for U.S. Customs and Border Protection, which oversees Border Patrol, and the federal agents who manage the international bridge connecting the city to Piedras Negras, Coahuila. I don't know how you say that. Maverick County is among the poorest counties in the state. Counties. Good God, I'm sorry. I'm getting lightheaded from talking so much. This is a very long article. With 23% of residents living below the poverty line, significantly higher than the statewide rate of 14%. And some say that they appreciate the extra law enforcement to help manage the historically high number of immigrants crossing the border in the Del Rio sector, which includes Eagle Pass. Federal agents recorded more than 393,000 migrant encounters in the fiscal year 2023, which ended in September. That's about 88,000 fewer encounters than the previous fiscal year, but still a 52% increase from the fiscal year of 2020. Dang. Oh my God, how long is this? It's a very long article. Good God. I know how to pick them, don't I? Jeez. Let me see here. Oh wait, no, that's the end. Okay, yeah, on to the next story. Okay, so this next guy, his name is TB Joshua, who is apparently the TD Jakes of Nigeria. But anyway, let me just say one thing. I might just have to do countless full disclosure televangelist episodes so I can just get this out of my system. Because I cannot stand televangelists. I cannot stand them. All of them have dirt on them. Every single one of them. Okay? Kenneth Copeland thinks that he can change the weather. Not only that, he also lied about the weather the day or the week after he prayed COVID away. Okay, sir. Jesse Duplantis wants the Starship Enterprise, and he also wants, a new private jet, and he also said that Jesus would be riding in a private jet and would rather not, ride on a donkey. Blasphemy. Benny Hinn, countless times, has denied certain people who needed miracles in order to push the agenda that he's a very powerful man. And he's also, like, his ushers, I would say, denied certain people to come up to Benny Hinn and get healed because for some reason they probably weren't actors. So, what's another one? Paula White fucked Benny Hinn and also thinks that she's a little god, and I don't understand how she became Trump's spiritual advisor, but whatever. T.D. Jakes is a man fucker, and also denies it while wearing a dress and preaching at his own, church, while also letting police officers or security guards dance to single ladies provocatively while he looks at their behinds, and also worships Oprah. Joel Osteen worships Oprah. Can't deny that. Joyce Meyer thinks that she's a god too, and does not say sorry for whenever she gets confronted. Hey, do you regret swindling people out of money? No, I don't regret that. What the fuck? It's another one. Oh yeah, Creflo Dollar gets accused by his own daughter. His daughter does not like the fact that he is more money hungry than hungry for the Spirit of God, and decided to confront him about it. And guess what happened? A domestic violence dispute between him and his daughter. I hate televangelists. I just hate them with a passion. I don't think any one of them has a truthful bone in their body. Like Todd White gently takes the shoe off of somebody who claims to have one leg shorter than the other. It has been a bar trick forever. It has been a trick forever. Okay? It's one of the oldest tricks in the book for televangelists to seem like they're holy. And Todd White does that. Pastor Dan Willis is not afraid of asking a congregation to sow a $300 seed after telling them a whole sob story about his son relapsing on drugs and running away from home. And I know there's more. There is a episode from one of my favorite YouTubers. I'll have to link the video. But there is a man named Marjo Gortner who actually talks about the faith healing business and how his parents raised him into like scamming money out of the congregation. It's a very interesting video, and I would recommend watching it. But I will definitely go ahead and link that in the description below as well. But we're going to be talking about TV Joshua. Anyway, here we go. This is from the BBC. The BBC actually made a whole documentary on this guy, so let's go ahead. The BBC unmasks for the first time how the late Nigerian televangelist TB Joshua faked the miracles that drew millions of people to his church. The preacher, who was accused of widespread abuse and torture spanning almost 20 years, founded his synagogue Church of All Nations in Lagos more than 3 decades ago. His meteoric rise to fame was closely tied to the self-possessed divine powers and his supposed ability to heal the sick. The theatrical healings showing the physically disabled walking and on occasion purporting to insurrect a dead person. I'm sorry, what the heck? Resurrect. Why did I read that word wrong of all things? Were filmed, okay, along with testimonies of those who he claimed to have cured. They were sent on VHS tapes to churches across the world. In 2004, Nigeria's broadcast regulator banned stations from airing the supposed miracles of pastors on live terrestrial TV, prompting Joshua to launch Emmanuel TV on satellite and then online. His global television and social media empire became one of the most successful Christian networks in the world, and his purported miracles were broadcasted to millions across Europe, the Americas, Southeast Asia, and Africa. His YouTube channel had hundreds of millions of views, but Joshua, who died in 2021, age 57, was a fraud, and the BBC's investigation, including more than 25 church insiders from the UK, Nigeria, Ghana, and the US, South Africa, and Germany, unpicks 6 ways in which he tricked his worshippers. Or tricked worshippers. Anyway. Hang on, why? I hate ads. This is where the sick who came to be healed would be screened, and where the team would decide who should be filmed and prayed for by Joshua. Agomo Paul, who supervised the department for 10 years, receiving the direct instructions from Joshua, told the BBC that the team was trained by medical doctors. He is a former disciple, one of the elite group dedicated followers who lived with the pastor inside the Scone compound. Any cancerous situation, they send them away. Then people who had normal open wounds that can heal, they bring them in to present as cancer, he says. Only a select group of trusted disciples were allowed to work the emergency department and would write placards for each follower to hold, detailing their made-up or exaggerated ailments when it was time to meet Joshua. They would stand in line for the cameras and be quote-unquote healed. It was a complicated system. Not all disciples knew what was happening. It was a secret, Mr. Paul says. 2, drugs. Alright, this one's new. Every foreign visitor who came to the church to be healed had to fill out a medical report detailing their illness and the medication that they were currently prescribed. They would be told to stop taking them, but Joshua would order pharmacists to procure the same medicine. What the heck? Without their knowledge, they would put those drugs in their fruit drinks, and explains Mr. Paul, who said people would be urged to drink the cocktail and that had been blessed by Joshua. Oh my God. This meant that the visitors were residing at Scone and would not become unwell and would believe that it was divine healing powers of their pastor. In the 1990s, HIV/AIDS had reached an epidemic levels across parts of the sub-Saharan Africa. Joshua told visitors to stop taking their antiretroviral medication when they returned home. I know people died because they didn't take their medicine, and it's difficult to live with that, admits former disciple who asked not to be named. With African Tash Ford, now 49, to Lagos in 2001, the hope of having their failing kidney healed, but was told to stop taking their drugs. It was the promise that you could supernaturally receive a new kidney, he told the BBC. At the same time, he had already had 2 kidney transplants. Miss Ford says the disciple said, stop taking your medication and just believe. She did believe, and she had been healed. Or she did believe she had been healed, but when she got home after 4 weeks of not taking their medicine, she went into renal failure and was admitted to the hospital. The medics initially managed to save her kidney, but eventually it stopped working and she had to have kidney dialysis for more than 6 years before having a 3rd transplant in 2011. Number 3 is brainwashing. Miss Ford was one of the Miss Ford says when she was at Scone, which is like his compound, his religious compound, she never had any doubts. I honestly thought that we were seeing miracles. I literally couldn't believe that I was seeing, I saw someone walk out of a wheelchair. The theatricality seemed to draw everyone in. The former disciple told the BBC that after being screened, the chosen followers would be told to exaggerate their problems so that God can heal and exaggerate your healing. That sounds like... I mean, to them, like, since they were believing him, that kind of sounds like they were trying to lie to God. Like, you can't exaggerate stuff to God. God's looking down at you like, yo, get out of here. You don't need to be around him. Anyway, the people themselves are clearly being manipulated, she says. The church had already had a ready supply of wheelchairs, which followers were coaxed to use. They were warned that they would not be healed unless they sat in one and they met Joshua. Wow. Okay. Let's see here. We are telling them, if you came out there and walk with your legs, Papa will not pray for you. You need to shout, "Man of God, help me, I cannot walk." Wow, says Mr. Paul. Another former disciple, Jesus, I don't know what's wrong with me reading different words differently. Disciple, who spent 14 years living at Scone, accompanied Joshua in his national healing campaign at the Church of Our Savior in Singapore in 2006. Okay, she says that she saw people in wheelchairs and tried to stand up at the pastor, the congregation. He said he had released faith into the stadium. However, these people had not been screened and she saw them fall down. I'm not laughing at the fact that they fell down. I'm laughing at the grandeur, the delusion of grandeur that this guy has. I was crying. I was crying for them, she says. The emergency department workers themselves were also being manipulated. They were subjected to horrifying ordeals, including rape, physical violence, and torture, and lived by a strict set of rules. Forbidden to sleep for more than a few hours at a time. Now they struggle to understand how and why they can continue to follow the pastor's orders. TB Joshua told me, "Don't worry, we use this thing to build people's faith in Christ." I wasn't having in mind that I was actually doing something wrong. I thought I was doing something that would help to build the faith in the people of the church, says Miss Paul. I'm sorry, Mr. Paul. Anyway, Miss Ford it has meant she has lost all faith in the organized religion. I wish we had known that it was all a farce, that it wasn't true. I was manipulated into believing that this was a prophet and he was doing supernatural miracles and wonders and signs. Number 4 was bribes. Okay. Some disciples alleged that they were charged with finding people who needed money to pretend to be sick. Okay, so you basically hired crisis actors. When they performed healing crusades in countries outside Nigeria, they would go to poorer areas of the city and search for people living in poverty. We would say, "We need you to just act out this particular scene and we will pay you," another former disciple told BBC. Let's see. We get them into hotels and get them cleaned up. They come and they do what they do, and we give them their money, and that the rest is history. She says, before the service, they would tell Joshua which rows they had planted these people in, and what clothes they were wearing, so he would know who to perform his supposed miracles on. People would be brought in just to pretend that they were healed, she says. Fake medical certificates is number 5. The healing miracles broadcast to millions regularly, including medical reports stating people had been cured of HIV/AIDS and diseases like cancer. Doctors were interviewed on camera confirming the cures. In 2000, Nigerian journalist Ajuwan Soyinka reported that these medical certificates were fake, but Joshua squashed his investigation and it went nowhere. To this day, some people believe that they were healed, but insiders say that it was all a performance and on the late preacher's part. The whole thing is stage managed, faked. It's faked. Let's see. Mr. Paul, describing Joshua, says, as an evil genius. There was nothing that took place in the compound that Joshua did not know about, he explains. TB Joshua was the one who masterminded the whole manipulation, he says. Wow. Let's see. 6. Video manipulation. The miracles were filmed and then edited to make it look like the supposed healing had happened instantaneously before and after footage was spliced together to show its purported miraculous powers, but in reality the films were shot months or even a year apart. All you see on TV is there and after, or is it before and after, and you don't know the time space, says Bisola, who was Scone's chief of video editor for 5 years and worked on Emmanuel TV. Like other insiders interviewed by the BBC, she opted to only use her first name. What people see is not real, it is a fraud, she says about the clips and broadcasts of the that she oversaw. I am speaking now as someone who was an insider. Anything they did not want viewers to see was cut away. It was all organized, she said. The BBC contacted Scone with the allegations of the investigation, did not respond to them, but denied previous claims against Joshua, making unfounded allegations against Prophet TV. Joshua is not a new occurrence. None of the allegations was ever substantiated, it said. Wow. And there's plenty more. I'm pretty sure I'll probably do a whole full disclosure episode of him at some time. Okay, before I even go ahead and let you guys listen to this whole issue that is going on right now in Canada, apparently, I just want you guys to know, if you guys are triggered by suicide or anything like that that would tie to ending your own life or ending someone else's in a certain sense, please, I will not get offended if you turn this off. I don't want anybody to be triggered. I do believe that being triggered is a thing, and it does lead people to do terrible things to themselves and other people. So if you are triggered by suicide or assisted suicide, please turn off my podcast. Thank you. Okay, this one is about the It's Okay to Pass Away song that I saw yesterday.
It's okay to pass away today. It's okay to pass away. It's okay to pass away today. It's okay to pass away. They'll put you in an urn or they'll put you in a grave. Either way, for certain gonna happen someday. Some say it's wrong and they'll tell you just to pray, but it's okay to pass away. It's okay to pass away today. It's okay to pass away. Oh my God! It's okay to pass away today. It's okay to pass away. Medicine, you're never getting better, and you're losing hair and weight and looking like a little skeleton if things don't improve. And if you're approved, take a little shot and then the pain is removed. It's okay to pass away today. It's okay. So this is from...
Okay, I don't want to use his dialogue, but the YouTuber that I had gotten this from, his name is The Quartering. His YouTube name is The Quartering. So if you want to go ahead and watch that, I don't know why you would, but I watched it so you wouldn't have to. But I got you to listen to it. But yeah, apparently that is a woke cartoon ad saying it's okay to pass away. It's a whole pro-suicide thing, and they're teaching kids that it's okay to just die, you know. Especially since that whole ad was basically being sung by a puppet who looks like a infected tooth with a mustache. And the fact that they have at least 2 children, one of them is in like a wheelchair looking like a cancer patient, the other one is coughing up blood, but the blood is in a smiley face. Like, can you please tell me how this is okay? Like, why is this okay? Why is this being broadcasted? And why is this a thing? But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and keep going, because I hate this. I care about your kids. So I don't want any pedophile, hurting your kids. That's why I always try to, educate parents, educate people in general, how to, look out for that. Now I'm trying to teach y'all how to, monitor what your kids are watching, because holy shit. So apparently this Canadian charity is advocating for assisted suicides and trying to lower the age to 12. And I feel like, from what I know at the moment, it is directed towards terminally ill children. But the problem is, why the fuck are you doing that? What the heck? Listen, let me find an article. My God, this is why I don't usually go free. I don't roam free with my words most of the time, because I will just go on a rant, on a tangent, and be rageful and cuss all the time. And I don't want to do that to you guys. I want to give you at least some solid information about this. So let me just give me a second. Okay, this will be the last topic that I talk about, because I'm almost over an hour. So, but this is a real website. The Quartering actually talks about this on YouTube. If you want to go on, watch what he talks about on here. I found the Terminal Wellness website, and the first thing that I see is, we can't change the past, but we can prevent the future. Interesting. There's a better way, along with a man trying to step off the ledge. So yeah, there's a better way. Anyway, this is called Ascension Terminal Wellness. This is a real charity company. Our facilities and services, multiple locations in every state. Interesting. Clean, state-of-the-art equipment and pediatric services now available. So this is what I was talking about when the whole "It's Okay to Pass Away" song with the ugly-ass puppet song that I let you guys listen to. I'm sorry if I traumatized you, but listen, this is real. They want to lower the age of euthanization of children to 12, especially if they are terminally ill. I mean, as far as I know from that one children's video aimed at children, it was about terminally ill children, but there's probably so much more about this. They're probably also talking about mentally ill children, which I find very disgusting. Don't fucking do that. Like, this is what really gets me mad. This is why I cuss. This is why I curse. It's because I get really angry at the people that think that this is okay to harm children. But anyway, competent and adequately trained staff will ease you into your final release. We pride ourselves on providing the most accessible and affordable permanent solutions to the industry. Requirements for admission must have authorization and referral from qualified medical practitioner, which I don't understand how a medical practitioner would ever at all approve this with a patient of theirs. If you ever, okay, I'm not just talking about Canadian doctors, I'm talking about the American, European, if you guys ever approve something like this, you're an accessory to murder. You really are. All patients must be accompanied by a witness that is at least 21 years of age. 18 years and under must be accompanied by a parent or legal guardian. Payment required in full upon admission. Sometimes when it's all too much, it's best to just let go. See, I don't agree with this. I cannot. This is a real website. This is a real website that actually wants to lower the age of assisted suicide to 12. That's disturbing. Sometimes when it's all too much, it's okay. 50% discount for... Oh my God, really? A 50% discount for assisted suicide for under 18 years? Artists and service workers. Cannot be combined with any other promotional offer. Persons with prior release attempts are not eligible for discount. Employees strictly prohibited. Children under 18 require consent from parent or legal guardian. Insurance personalized or pre-authorization and 50% deposit required. Referral form. A qualified physician and required child must be accompanied by the parent or legal guardian. They're making a business out of killing people. I want to know more about pediatrics. Say goodnight forever in a clean and happy environment. I'm going to have to put like a disclaimer on this episode because, oh my God, like this is so bad. Our caring staff will attend to your child's every need to ensure the utmost comfort all the way up until the final bittersweet goodbye, using our safe FDA-approved medication. Of course the FDA would be fucking behind this shit. We offer the most affordable packages to release your special little loved one from their unbearable pain. God help me. For your child care uncertain if you or your child are uncertain about your decision, listen to the Ascension's own Uncle Ernie, as in Ern, U-R-N-Y, Ernie. Oh my God. Sing a song to help ease your worries about your mature minor's release. See, the thing is that that's nightmare fuel. What the hell? Like, that's not going to help anybody want to send off their kid. Why would you in the first place want to send off your kid? I mean, fuck any parent who wouldn't go to the ends of the earth for their kid before they decide to do something like this. Fuck you. Fuck you. I have so much anger towards you. Don't ever fucking do this. Parents, don't ever fucking do this. I don't care if you're woke, Gen Z. God forbid Gen Z has kids and wants to do this to their kids. Fuck this. I want to move. Can I just move? I want to move to another planet. I keep on saying this. Like, listen, apparently the moon is populated by Nephilim. Listen, I will make a peace treaty with the Nephilim and I'll just chill with them. I don't really give a shit. Can Can I just... I need somebody who knows how to build a rocket, okay? Apparently there was a whole movie about a man who built a rocket in his barn. Like, can we have that guy make the whole fucking rocket for me and my friends to go ahead and build our own civilization on the moon without this bullshit here? This is awful. This is awful. Anyway, I'm done. I will see you in the trenches next time. Maybe. I might be antisocial for a while because of this shit.